I want to be here to support you in a way of helping you to show you that you can be happy. And there's steps to take to be truly happy. And it's okay to be happy because the more that you get in that vibration of happiness, the more incredible things will happen.
Don't need you. Tell me what I can and can't do. I'm in charge of what I feel. It's just a game I play for fun, but I already.
Hi, my name is Amy. Like, comment, and subscribe to Lux Media Studios. They are awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy, and this is Loving Your Life, Be Authentically You. I am so excited to have you back. I cannot wait to share with you, oh my gosh, so many incredible things that have happened. And this is just going to be a fun podcast where I'm going to share all of the amazing things that I've done with game shows and what I've done in my life and just some fun things. So let's just get started. So I wanted to share with you a little about, I have actually never really been on a game show until I got to California. I really believe first that you have to have the right mindset because this all happened to me in order for me to be able to even get on a show. So what I mean by this is that if I was in a depressed state, if I was not doing well, I don't think that I would have been in the vibration and the happiness to be able to be on the show. And I want to tell you first that I was just on Candace's Believing Before Seeing. It's a podcast I was just on. It's going to be airing next week. And this is a great book. Go check it out, Believing Before Seeing. You can find her on Instagram. And this is actually what I was doing. So before I was on the show, I literally was going, you know what? Whatever's happening is happening. I'm in this happy state of mind. I'm loving life. I'm so incredibly excited about everything. And from there, I had a dream actually. And in my dream, I was spinning this wheel. And I was like, what? Why am I spinning this wheel? I woke up, we had no TV. So I wasn't watching the show or anything. And I woke up and I said, Price is Right. Okay. So then all of a sudden I get on my email and in my email, it says, it's like an audience thing. And they're like, hey, come on to the Price is Right. My mom was actually coming into town and I thought, hey, that'd be fun. Let's just do it. It'll be fun. No big deal. Right. So I decided to. On the way there, nobody really knows this, but I wasn't feeling the best. And I was like, we're running a little late. Should we go? But something was nudging me to go. It was just like, you got to go. You got to go. I'm like, all right, I'll go. So I go and we were there and they went through people, like they interview people, but I thought already people have been chosen. It's not a big deal. I was going to be in the audience. I was excited to just be there with a whole bunch of people. So I'm sitting there, they're doing their audition and they're like, okay, so what do you do? And at the time I was making guacamole in a Mexican restaurant and talking to people. And I absolutely loved my job actually. And so I was doing that. I'm like, I make guacamole and I'm a singer. And that's what I said. So then they go to the next person. I'm like, yay, I was so happy for everybody. And I was in this place of everybody's winning. It was just in a very happy state of mind, literally. And so we get in there, and all of a sudden, I hear them say, "Okay, first contestant." And then they said, "Amy Yadanak," and they throw this sign out like this. And I was like, "What?" And they have to put the sign out because you're like, "Did they just say my name?" So I'm screaming, going, "I can't believe I'm just on the show. No idea what to do, by the way. No idea any prizes. No idea anything." And and so they actually did an article in the Washington Post about that. I literally knew nothing, but I was in this place like, okay, so I'm in there and people are, guessing these prices. And there were some people behind me and I'm like, okay, so, they're like, we'll help you out. We'll help you out. And so they were kind of telling me because people can tell you in the audience the price. So I'm like, okay. And then I thought, you know what? No, it's time for me to trust myself, right? I think a lot of times in our lives, we don't trust ourselves. We think we need all of these other people to tell us what to do and how to be in our lives. And if we trust ourselves and who we are authentically, then that's how things can move forward. So at that point, I remember this. I was like, okay, I have to trust myself. This is the time. 3 people already got on. They spun the wheel. I'm still waiting. Another person went on and they won. There were 2 more people that could only make it. Otherwise, you don't make it at all. So the next thing was a TV and a DVD player. And I thought, actually, before that, I thought, I'd love to get a TV for my children. I'd love to get a DVD player, would be awesome. And I was thinking that, but I was like, I don't know how that's going to happen, but it would be great. Okay. So I get there and I'm like, okay, I'm trusting. So I look through the audience and I'm like, who here knows about electronics? Instead of just going to the same people, I'm like, okay, who here? And in my mind, I'm like, who? I trusted, went to this person. I'm like, that's it. Guess the prize. I went up there. I got the DVD and the TV. Then the next thing was, and let me tell you a little bit before I tell you about this. My lease was up. As I told you prior, I actually had a divorce. And so I was in the process of a divorce. And so my car was going to be basically gone because the lease was up in December. And I thought, okay, I'm like, well, it's okay. I have a car. It's going to be okay. It's not a big deal. I never really worried about it. Now thinking back, I'm like, should I have? But when you actually are positive and you manifest, you're like, hey, it's going to happen. I don't know how, but things are going to work out for me. And you always have faith that something's going to work out for you. And so that's what I did. I'm like, all right, I have faith. And so I said, I have a car, and I would just drive by. I'm like, I got a car. I have a car. And I would just say these things, right? And again, not knowing how, but it's going to happen. So I'm on The Price is Right. And there is this one where it goes up inklings of 150, and it was for a car. And the gentleman who was actually showing us the car was from my where I lived was in Wisconsin. And he worked with Boys and Girls Club. And I was like, wow, that's so beautiful that you help these kids. And it was like a very beautiful moment. And I was just really just drawn to that. So this thing goes up in price and I'm supposed to slam the button, and I'm watching everybody again. I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust my instinct and I'm going to trust everything going on around me. I got this. And it wasn't like, oh, I got this, right? But it was like we've all got this together. We're all in this together. Let's do this. It was kind of that. It was like a confidence that honestly I really never had before, but it was like this confidence of, okay, let's do this. The thing went up. Everybody's like, push, push, push. I'm like, okay, slam it. I jump into Drew Carey's arms. I'm like hugging him tight. And then all of a sudden, what ends up happening is I got it. I got the car. I got the price. It was crazy. So I got a red Mini Cooper. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, pinch me now. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was incredible. Next thing was the wheel. So now we're spinning the wheel, right? And I'm like, okay, oh my gosh, the wheel. I was the third one because if you win more, you're the third person. And so the first person goes, and the first person got 85 cents. And so they got 85 cents. And I was like, okay. The next person went over $1. So they were out. And it was my turn. And I'm like, okay, I got this. Let's do this thing, And I was like, okay. And again, I felt like I was in this. It's so interesting for me to explain it, but I was in this happiness love bubble, literally.
Believing Before Seeing, a new bestseller by Candace Barr. Order your copy today.
I was like, just like we were all in this together, and I didn't really care who won. I didn't really care even if I won. It was just we were all in it in a loving way. Like we were all family. It almost felt like, although I didn't know all the people in the audience, but it was like we all were just together. And so I spun it and I got 90 cents. So I made the Showcase Showdown. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is happening. This is like really, really happening. So you get to the Showcase Showdown. And the first thing was, a trip to in Africa, a safari. It was a wave runner. And it was another car. And I thought, well, I already have a car. The wave runner I don't really need because where would I put it? I'm in an apartment. And the trip to Africa I can't really do because I have my 2 children. So that wouldn't really work. And so before this too, I was like saying, wow, it would be so cool to go to see the Rockettes and go to New York. And it would be amazing to have Christmas there. And I was just like, I've always envisioned it. And it was something that I've always wanted to do. So So anyway, at this thing, they basically say the price. So the girl next to me, she did 33,000. And for me, and I gave her mine, I gave her the package of the Africa and everything. So I passed it on. So my package comes, and my package is a trip to New York, a VIP party, seeing the ball drop, which was what I've always wanted to do too. It was like the ball drop, during that Christmas time, and the ball drops. And oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? Like, and the best thing would be for them to like take me down so I'm not like standing out there in the cold. And I was like, this is crazy. That and some Dior accessories and another car, another car. And this car was gorgeous. It is like blue and like a beautiful minty blue. It was a Ford Fiesta, gorgeous car. And I'm thinking, I love the color of the car. Didn't care about the car. I was just like, I love the color of the car. So comes up, what price do you want? I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm looking at everybody again. My mom's throwing this up, and I'm like, okay. And I was just like, so what should I do? And, Drew's like, you got to figure this out, and I'm like, okay. And we're laughing with each other. It cuts to commercial. We're still laughing because I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, 33,000. My mom's saying it. I didn't really even realize the other girl had said it. So I said 33,000. So it came up that she was, I think, 8,000 off, and I was 6,000 off, and I won the whole showcase showdown. Now, let me tell you, you would think, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. Yes, it was amazing. It was the funnest experience of my life. But in the midst of it, there was a reason for that. My mom actually got a heart attack. So she actually was, when I was signing paperwork and I came out, there's a lady with her going, you need to take her to the hospital right now. She's got a heart attack. And I believe I was put on that show. Yes, I got a car. Yes, I got all that stuff. But I was put on that show to save my mother, because she was supposed to go back to her hometown and fly. And that could have happened on the plane or something like that. And I honestly believe that is why it happened there. And then she put her stints in, and she is perfectly fine. She's 86 years old, living in Croatia, doing incredible right now. And I believe that that's really what the whole thing was. So that was my Price is Right story, which is so incredible. And it, like I said, it was for saving her, and yet everything else was amazing too that I got. And I had the most amazing time. I actually took my friend who has 6 children, a single mama. We went over to New York, and we had an amazing time with the ball, and we had a concert, and it was incredible. So that's that one. Then I got on that show, and I did go on another game show. I completely forgot about this one. When we first got to California, I got on a game show with my daughter, and it was called What Parents Don't Know. And it was like G90 app. So it was in an app, like a Disney type thing. And so I get on there. I remember auditioning for this too. Just tell you a little funny story about the audition. We won the audition. I think we're the last ones to audition. And he was so tired. And I said, hey, can I get you some coffee or something? Like, because we're so tired. And I was just like being ourselves. And I wanted to help him. Like, I really wanted to help him to like get through his day. But he was a great casting director. And so we get called for this show, and we made it. And we got second place because the last thing they ask you to do, it's kind of a trivia question, like, do your parents know this? Or, because it's things that the kids know. And I did pretty good. I was surprised. But then the last thing was, how many peeps can your parent put in their mouth? Well, I was going against a dad who could literally put all the peeps in their mouth. So it was crazy. So anyway, it was like, he actually won that whole show. So that was that show. Another show I've been on is Switched. Another show I've been on is Person, Place, or Thing, which will be airing coming up. So it's been so fun. I love game shows. I love the host. I love all of those experiences that you get. It's been really a lot of fun. So yeah, it's been incredible. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today, was just my little bit of the fun stuff that I've done and how I love it and how I've been through it, and just how incredible the people in the casting world and everything really is. It's so much fun. And it's really been, it's been a joy to be able to do that stuff. So I also want to share with you guys that if you guys are in need of really being purely happy, truly happy, that I am here for you, and you can DM me and we can talk about it, because I know a lot of people are in that mode of that things may not be the greatest in their life and things take us down in life. And I want to be here to support you in a way of helping you, to show you that you can be happy. And there's steps to take to be truly happy. And it's okay to be happy, because the more that you get in that vibration of happiness, the more incredible things will happen, the more life will open up to you, and you will see life in a completely different way. So please feel free to reach out to me in my Instagram at Loving Your Life Be Authentically You. You can also do my TikTok, Dream Big 1122. Please feel free, and I would love to chat with you about that, so that you can really experience pure, true, loving, wonderful happiness and get into your authentic self. These game shows, if you go look at it, the one was December 2018. December 31st, 2018 was Price is Right. You can go look at that if you'd like to see me on that. That is my true authentic self, completely me. So I would love to help you to step into your true authenticity and your true happiness as well. Thank you for joining me on this podcast. I am so happy for you, so happy you've joined me. Please post down below if you have any questions or you'd like me to cover anything else, and we will be having some incredible special guests on. I cannot wait to share with you, and you never know what I'll say next. Have a beautiful, blessed day, everybody. Bye.
Don't need you. Tell me what I can and can't do. I'm in charge of what I feel. It's just